when last we left our heroes, they had finally arrived at the eastern coast of the continent. Their journey across the sea lays ahead. They are currently enjoying a late lunch at the fishing town of Bergport, with the promise of a meeting with the captain of a ship. The act of securing passage is up to them. So, I believe the last thing we did was Keldav went to check on El Gato, and the rest of you met Old Bill and were enjoying some food at the open-air market. Feel free to describe your food or what you plan on doing after.
I if I recall, I actually came back from the.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you are Keldav is now back at the market with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You had met the alderman who had pointed out the council house.
Yeah. Sish obviously is not eating, but is watching the rest of the party doing that.
Johan has Ari on the table while he's just swinging a glass of wine, trying to look cool, but not actually drinking from it.
I'll be away of Ari.
Mm-hmm.
I am saying Ari because Okupa just came here and he said it's D&D time, so time to be annoying. So he wants some pets.
Okupa is your cat, right?
Listen. Yeah. Your cat knows that cats are popular on the internet. They're just trying to help the channel.
Yeah.
Best as they can.
I think Lena would be eating whatever Maravilla is eating, simply because she kind of has the idea of she probably has better taste than me in food, so I'll just that's a cat butt right there.
From the side. It was tasteful. So what would Maravilla be eating?
Mara is now eating her dessert. It's a mote con huesillos.
All right. Interesting. Yeah.
I was drinking water. That was not fair.
But
Why? There's
good.
always
Fruit.
room for dessert.
oh my
Yeah,
god!
honestly.
Now I want to emote con huesillo now.
Yeah, I would kill for one of those right now. Yeah.
Yes. It is summer.
Time
here
to
in-
be
in
heretical
Halfling
and
country.
say I just like the juice. I don't like the I don't know huesillo part.
And
Mote?
you're wrong, and that's okay.
Yeah, actually,
Everyone is entitled to their poor taste.
yeah. I
Take
mean,
that
dude,
as you will.
I was once like you, and then I took an uppercut in the knee. I guess I don't know.
Anyway, so a very refreshing sweet drink.
Can you let me?
So, audience, we are unhinged today. Okay, so our apologies, I guess. Yeah, so Keldav, good thing you arrived. We have a lead on a ship, probably. So we're she puts the mote con huesillo away. So we talked to this person, Bill, and we have a lead on this Captain Bellany O'Keefe. So we may have a ship now. I think we need to plan this a little bit, because didn't she say? And DM, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't she? Sorry, didn't Bill say that it was actually more expensive to ship from here than from Ice Peak, or is that my idea?
Yeah. That was his basic idea. Yeah, because the ship isn't doing business from here. This is just where they come to. They may have come to sell things here, but if they want to buy something for transport, they would go to Ice Peak first, which is a much larger port city. That is basically
Bill's crew was the ocean hunter, like extreme monster hunting on the ship. kind of
That
vessel.
that's what Bill.
I remember that.
Yeah, Bill eventually said that he was known as Bill the Hunter. I believe some of you had the
The
insight
sailor.
checked and
Or the hunter.
Well, he said Bill the Hunter, but I believe some of you
Okay.
had the insight to realize that this was a level of boast that his companions were letting him get away with.
Yeah, she would.
But
Lena would
he
believe him
had-
completely.
He had some experiences. It's the basically the level of someone who has had some run-ins with monsters, and as he explained, the ship can hunt some of the smaller of the terrors that prowl the seas, but it is not a specialized like Leviathan killing ship. It's so like any ship that goes into the deep sea, they can defend themselves, and that is enough to occasionally get a bounty. It's more like, they could take care of some sharks, but maybe not killer whales, except scale that to a fantasy world where,
Okay.
The only thing I'm just thinking about is like, if we get on a monster hunting ship, I want to get paid because, let's face it, we are gonna do the most of the job. So I don't like to do job for free. Charity isn't really my thing.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of right, and also, well, didn't Bill say that the ship was made of wood and wasn't really strong against the fishy things? As I look for my notes, the icebreakers, right? So those things are supposed to be dangerous.
Yeah, but those things are far north, and I know they say he said like, oh, they're starting to come south for some reason. But come on, what are the odds that we are going to find one?
Very high.
I mean, if you keep rolling random encounters the way you have been, yes. But
Yeah, no,
It is not
we're
a
not
certainty.
making Diego Jose roll again.
By the way, the very high was Kelda speaking.
Yeah.
Was not Diego
Yeah.
speaking. It was
Yeah.
literally
Alright.
like, no, yeah, we're gonna see one. We are gonna need to fight one. I get your point. The thing is that first we could get a deal where we get all the spoils. And I think you rather have the spoils of the monsters, and I'm talking to Johan right now, than getting paid a measly amount of money.
I wasn't listening, but you have a face that knows what you are talking, so I'm going to just nod at your general direction.
Okay.
She should start nodding also.
It's always very comforting to talk to you. Before we start speaking, I'm gonna buy something to eat. I'll be right back, and I'll go to a stall and I'll literally buy the first sandwich I find, like the most basic shit. A mead.
It said
Not very strong.
Sandwich of potito.
there aren't that many halflings in this town, so unfortunately that's not the case.
No,
It's a
that-
very
that-
flat bread wrapped around a fried fish, and from the outside, you can't really tell what kind of fish it is. It's just a cut of it.
I imagine fried fish and pickled onion.
With tomato?
That is a no, just that.
And a he. Here,
No,
can
nothing.
put
No,
a he.
Chile.
by the and by the way, I'm like literally opening my mouth to bite it, and I imagine no, wait, and just putting her her hands.
Just
Insistent that needs
And I'm
spices.
like, okay, like fuck it. There's one thing I actually want to talk to you guys about the trip, because I think it's better for us to first go to Icebeak. I think I'm with you with that. But I think we need to be a little bit little less forthcoming with our quest. I think we need more information before we give information.
What do you mean? I mean, we
Let's
haven't
say-
told. I don't think we have
No.
told anyone what you're trying to do.
You said, I imagine, from what you said beforehand, you said you wanted to go to the other continent, right?
I mean, I was just asking, like, if
Yeah, that's
I
that's
thought
kind of the
we've
thing.
had an honesty rush.
No, I am
Yes.
not saying to
Searching
lie. I
response.
am saying that there's a. Okay. Once again, I am not saying to lie. I am
But
saying
why won't we say that we're looking to cross the sea? Because we want to cross the sea. I don't.
I mean,
because
yeah, it's-
we need to know who is crossing the sea
We-
and who's gonna charge us a decent rate and not who's gonna overcharge us, because they know we need them.
Oh yeah,
That's the thing.
But you have to say. Sorry, you have to say. Listen, it's too expensive. That guy just asked me for. You say 50 gold pieces
Again.
less, and
That's okay. If you want to bluff, I okay, I get it. I'm just saying we need information. That's all. If you don't want to do this, by the way, I'm okay. I'm just giving my 2 cents on the matter. I don't want to overpay. That's all.
Don't
Yeah, I
be
mean, no.
humble, Commander.
Oh, fuck off.
I mean, I totally agree with you, but I think they told us that it would be more expensive to ship from here than from Ice Peak anyway.
Yeah. We were lucky this time. We may not be lucky next time. That's all I'm saying, guys.
Okay,
Why is it so hard?
okay,
No,
I'll
no,
use
no.
my words.
I'm with you. Don't worry. Don't panic. Don't fret.
Kildab Commander question, are we broke?
Fuck no, that's not the point.
You are very
You
welcome.
you don't said that, and they can hear you. You're
That
hearing
was
Sam.
something that Siege received a telepathic message.
Oh,
Sam's amulet currently can only send messages telepathic
yeah, I know.
Oh, that's right.
without the head out.
The body's stored away, right?
Yeah,
people
Yes.
here
Okay.
are really poor. If they know how much coin do we have,
Shut up.
They're
shut
gonna
up. Shut up.
fucking mock us.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. We are not poor. We don't have a lot of money. We are just good. The fuck's happening here? You are supposed to be the intelligent one. Don't say that shit. Shut the fuck up.
That's
we're
what I'm
good.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Ari, please.
Literally,
I'm
like,
trying to
Caleb
talk.
right now is like, oh, literally, the vein is coming out of the forehead. Like, what the fuck's happening right now?
Okay.
Kildab Commander, do you feel well?
Yeah, I'm fine. And I take up a huge bite of the huge bite of the sandwich and just like eat in solemn quietness.
By the way, we prepared this session 10 minutes before. We had a lot of conversation internally. We were fine. Start the recording. And that cat started just that moment.
Yeah. Welcome to cats, man.
Yeah.
They find they find their moments.
So, that's all I'm saying. Why if we steal the boat?
Oh, shut up.
Do you have? I don't have any I mean, does anyone know how to? I don't know.
I know how to
Commandeer a
drive
port?
boat
I
cart.
mean, a boat? I don't know how to.
Gildab knows.
What the fuck? I don't. I've never. This is the first time I've seen the sea.
You're smart. You can do anything. Just believe in yourself.
I imagine I can figure it out, but again, I don't know.
I thought you were the smartest, Johan.
Thank you.
Siege, this is reverse psychology or something like that. Just follow my lead.
Siege, never follow his lead.
So, like what I'm saying.
Now I'm confused.
Okay, stop the goofing. No more goofs. This is some serious talk.
All right.
So, what's the plan?
Yeah.
Are we getting a ship to cross the sea all the way, or are we doing the stop on the thing?
I speak.
No. Yeah, I speak. Because
So,
also,
eh-
we need information on what the hell is in this other continent, and if I speak is the best, it's like the closest place to get that information from, it's better that we learn there than we learn in the middle of the ocean. So
So-
we need to go to I speak anyway.
Everyone agrees that we are going to Icepeak instead of trying the whole travel
I think
Yeah.
it's a solid strategy.
in one go. All right.
Mara, what do you think?
Whatever you say, Commander.
Oh, come on.
If you ask me, I prefer doing the whole way. I don't see really the reason to.
No, that's a horrible idea. I like Caleb to go to
Okay.
I speak.
Hey, you want an opinion, so I just wanted to share mine because it's the most important here in the group.
And Johan, I think it's very, very good that you shared your opinion and showed how wrong you are. That's okay.
I love that he's your enemy now. Like, this is so cool.
And this is the moment that Kildav realizes Lena hasn't witnessed the relationship that Johan and Kildav actually have.
Huh?
It's like, okay.
Yeah,
gonna
me,
be
Juan, has. Lena has no idea.
Hey, don't worry. So, we are going to Icepeak. We need to secure a ship for that. We have
No.
so far maybe 2 ways to do it. 3. Actual
No,
paying a normal
have-
trip, talking to this Okir captain, fearless captain that can, I don't know, wrestle a shark.
Or Bill can take us to talk to with her.
Yeah, that's Okir. That his
Yeah.
captain. Or I can repair the crane, and maybe these people get indebted into me, like, oh no, I need to help you now because you helped us. Here's a chip, and they give us a chip, and we sail on the sea. Something like that.
Johan, question: last time, did they give you a ship when you fixed that crane?
No, they actually really want me to go away, but that's usually all the places.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but I think it's a good idea to go help the people to have a good reputation outside of Harkin.
Maybe that helped with the price.
Yeah, I mean that could help a lot of things, but I don't imagine they're gonna give us a ship. But I think it's a good idea.
Or, option 4, stowaways. We just sneak into a ship and we don't
Have
pay.
you seen El
Yeah.
Gato?
Yeah.
Okay, point taken.
Yeah.
Forgot that we had El Gato with us.
Also, we have like a walking zoo with us, actually.
Yeah. That's
If you
revenge,
think ab-
buddy.
If you think about it.
Maybe we should kill them and I just summon them
no,
back
how
when
did-
we needed them. Hey, what's an idea?
I'm gonna go
convenient.
cover
very bad
Gufran's
idea.
ears from this from this part of the conversation, just knowing how much he loves right.
Just an idea.
Again,
I don't.
what's up with you? Your ideas have been kind of poor today.
You said that you wanted honesty to share my
Yes.
thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
You
I
did
am
this to
sorry.
me.
Okay, I am sorry. I am sorry. You're correct. Thank you for sharing. You're absolutely wrong.
All right, so we can stay in the
I don't
marketplace
know
of
who
ideas
I'm
for
watching.
everyone.
I'm not a religious person, actually.
I mean, you don't have to worship to be aware of the existence of deities in this world.
Nah.
Yes, that's the only one that matters.
Mara and Gufran are just some kind of sorcerers and they don't know it. Please, cat, leave me alone.
Oh my god. Do we start again?
Absolutely no. Absolutely
We
not.
keep going.
Okay, Johan, I do have a question, and I just this is again curiosity, and I don't think
Sorry.
it's necessarily bad. Are you indebted in some way to Hendrix? To Hendrik?
Me?
Yeah.
I am? Am I?
I'm not saying. I don't know. I'm asking.
I'm asking the DM.
So, a more ethical character might believe that you owe them something for the care that they gave you, but there was no contract, there was no expression of there was no even expectation from Hendrik that you should give them something in return. You helped a bit around the house, like just fixing small things, and then from there you moved on to like fixing things around the town and things that required like Hendrik's influence. The reason you were able to do the 2 cranes was because Hendrik introduced you to some people who did the fishing and allowed you to build the first small crane that served as the proof of concept for the much bigger one in the central platform.
Well, look. In hindsight, maybe. He was the one who found me in the forest, and I was a bit confused. Yeah.
Maybe
mean,
we
I
should
think-
go and say hi to him. It would be kind of rude not to come to the town and not meet your family.
I
can
don't know.
be yours.
I don't know if he's really that fond of me, but I think you're right.
Hey, we have to introduce ourselves. We are your friends, your new family. Yes, absolutely. Let's go. I already finished my.
You seem oddly excited about this. I don't
Of
like when
course.
you are oddly excited about anything.
By the way, I actually asked because if you're introducing yourself as the Wizard of Harkin, I imagine that it's not a good for Harkin that if you owe something to someone, like having debts, being the Wizard of Harkin is not a good look for Harkin.
Yeah, but the debt was contracted before I was the Wizard of Harken, but I get
Yeah,
what you-
but again, reputation is something of a weird amorphous thing. I'm just saying. I think we need to go see if Hendrix is home,
Sure.
or do
Let's-
we wait for the captain?
I don't know if
What?
the captain is going to just come here.
I believe that this is Jose. I believe on the last session we say that we are going to meet on the inn.
Yeah,
Later.
it's you.
Okay, so Mara, lead the way.
So, Hendrik Kreef's house is basically the one at the southeast of the map, sort of in the outskirts of town. So you're, of course, it only takes you, 15 minutes to walk over there. But if you want to do something else while you're here, you see in the market there are knitted goods. There are some small leatherwork items. You see a lot of vellum, like the thin material made from like the skin of animals to write on, and there's cheese and other dairy items. There's one small stand where they appear to be selling some kind of jewelry made out of wire work. So there's a few trinkets and things for sale here in the market.
Could I?
Go.
Oh, no, sorry. Could I just have Lena buy like 200 gold worth of cheese?
Sure. Yeah, you go around. You buy.
Is there 200?
Sheep's cheese. You buy some imported cheese that they had to go get special for you. You
Why-
you
why
buy
do
a
you wanna
variety
fart
of
so
expensive
bad?
cheese.
Oh, what? It's not for me.
Okay.
She doesn't like to poop, so she's preparing for that.
So over
Wait,
the
do
5
they
or
sell
10
like
minutes,
hats?
yeah,
Would there be a stand with hats, like
Oh yeah, like
sailor
strapped
hats?
yeah,
Like
Oh yeah, we could totally dress up for this. I love this idea.
sure.
Is
mean-
there
a pirate
beanie
hat.
that covers the ears?
Yes, it's more like a knitted wool beanie, but yes, there
like
is.
a pointed. We needed wool
If-
with.
Sure. If you wanted that kind of hat, you could find one.
I think Keldav wants that kind of hat. So just tell me how much that would cost.
I don't know. 4 silver?
I'll give 5, because I'm
Okay.
that kind of gnome.
Wonderful.
And another thing that I was gonna ask, I have the herbalism kit that Johan gave me from the lab. I want to find one thing and a category of things. I want to buy a book, just for writing, just like a bounded,
Like a journal?
like
Or
thick
yeah?
journal, but a good one, with writing materials. And I'm gonna start looking from now on, like herbalism books or herbalism, like anything herbalist, like knowledge based that I could study.
I would like to buy an spyglass. Is it possible?
Good idea.
Let's check. So a book is more expensive. This is it's more specialized, so it would be roll a d20 just to see
Yep.
what inflation is like in this town.
A 6.
A 6. So it's 25 gold pieces. It's quite expensive for a good book. There haven't been industrial processes developed to make these commonplace. And now it's-
Maybe in the other town we can
Yeah.
get one less expensive.
But wait. That was for the book, or
The book.
for the
Yeah.
No,
the
the
journal.
Spyglass? The journal.
The
Like
the
a
journal.
book for you to
I'll
write
buy
on.
it. Yeah, I'll buy it.
Okay.
I'm good. Don't worry.
Sure. Johan, roll a d20. You're looking for an 18 or higher to see if there is a spyglass for sale here, which would be at Oakenhue's General Store.
I would
it's-
roll physical,
It's fairly
but
pricey.
I have a cat. 19.
Wow.
Ooh,
So you're in
nice.
luck. A captain had a run of bad luck. They lost their ship and were forced to sell many of their supplies. So it's a rare occurrence, but in this case, they do in fact have a spyglass for sale, and they charge, because it's slightly used, only 900 gold pieces for this delicate piece of glasswork.
900.
Yeah.
That's like
How much platinum is that?
90 platinum.
90.
Yeah. It's an expensive item.
Can I see Johan like squirming?
I mean, if you can see the
I would
all
say
the
that you can
glasses
see
and
me.
the special pieces that it has.
Yeah. You might be able to build something like that. The most complicated thing is getting the lenses.
Yeah.
Do you need some money, Kelda?
Are we there?
Johan?
It's up to you guys if... I think Kildav went to the general store to buy a couple of things.
mean, we're all
Nina's
going
getting a bunch of
together.
cheese.
I believe that we
So-
are together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think we're all
I'm here, and
together.
you can see I have the thing on my hands, and it's like, that's a lot. And
Do you need it?
I need everything in life, but that
I can help.
If you want, I was going to offer a loan with just a bit of interest.
no.
I can help.
Okay.
Come on, Kelda. What? You know that you don't make deal with banks. They're a bunch of crooks
But you're
that want your
Johan.
money. No, Siege. Look, I know I can ask the money from you, but
But
Fuck it.
what if Siege? What if Siege lends you the money interest free? I think that's a good idea.
I was just about to just accept the money.
I know, but I cut you off because I'm a bit quicker sometimes.
Fuck you, Kelda.
I
all right,
think,
all right.
Yeah,
all
you
right.
hear Sam's voice in your head, Johan. It says, "You could study the spyglass, recreate it, and then sell it, and clearly they maintain a great part of their resale value."
Yeah, actually, I was thinking of maybe. Okay, we'll talk about ideas later. Fuck it, yeah! Give me the spyglass!
I'm going to give you the 90
yeah.
platinum. 90, right?
Samson Oakenhughes collapses the spyglass a little bit and says, "Fine purchase. These never last long. It's always useful. Pricey, but the extra warning, priceless."
Kelda will write a note of credit with the name of Johan owing the 90 platinum to Siege. I will ask for the signature of Johan. I will give the note to Siege and I'll say, Siege, just take care of this.
I'm going
Siege,
to.
don't worry. When I have my own city, I'm going to give you many platinum.
Wait, you are going to have your own city?
Of course. I'm going to have everything.
Huh. Okay, I'm going to
I think
receive the the ticket.
And I'm going to add on a spyglass.
Mara, in
Please.
order to prepare for her future new level, future probably, I'm going to buy spices and
Oh,
utensils to cook.
I know
and
what
stuff
that
like
means.
that.
That's cool.
Wonderful.
DM, could I go back on my purchase? I just need 100, not 200. But I'll still buy all the
Sure.
fucking cheese.
Yeah, it still takes a lot of time. A couple of crates that they have to crack open and give you, piece by piece for you to put away in your
the way-
extra dimensional pocket.
Okay.
100 goals of cheese is a fuckload of cheese.
It's a lot of cheese. Yes, this is
like
why
it's-
it's
it's
taking a
a-
long time. They have to get to the warehouse and get crates to bring out.
There
This
is
a
no
ma-
more
a
cheese in
massive
this
sale.
town.
I actually
There is a lot of
imagine
cheese
that-
in this town.
I imagine that. Oh, what happened?
about
I don't know.
why?
Alejandro.
Oh, good.
dropped.
Yeah,
No.
good.
I went for
yeah.
some water for the cat. Don't worry about
Oh.
it.
All right.
Okay.
It's all good. Something it just startled me. I imagine Lena can't move that amount of cheese. It's like
Yeah, they
by
have to give
bit.
it to her in pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, pieces and then haversack and
Yeah,
then
there's one large wheel that doesn't fit, and you have to ask for them to cut it for you into pieces that are more manageable.
now is Diego asking the question or is Keldav asking the question?
no, that was Diego.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Also, any? I mean, I need to go get the player's handbook to look for this. But any games, probably like any card games or dice games or things that we can have to have fun in the sea because sometimes there's gonna be nothing to do.
Dragon chess.
So you can find dice and playing cards here. I'll need a luck roll, another d20, to see
Sure.
if you find a dragon chess set. You want probably a 12 or higher.
12 or higher.
This is just
19.
Johan,
Wait, no,
say.
what is it? Oh, sorry.
So yeah, you find a complete dragon chess set where each piece
I get the best one.
it's extremely it's almost a work of art, and they're like each side is made of different materials to make the coloring more distinctive. The board folds over into itself, and there's like sliding pockets to put away all the pieces neatly. It's a premium set. The kind of thing that if you found it in a wizard's tower, you would assume was enchanted.
Oh,
How much for the three things for the?
So dice and playing cards are very cheap. You get them for about 7-8 silver pieces,
Okay.
depending on how many sets of dice and decks of cards you want. The
Okay.
dragon chess set is 10 gold pieces.
Okay, I'll buy them all.
All right.
I mean, not all of them, but one of each, really.
even the card set.
Yeah. I want to have all the games. I want to have things to do because I'm not gonna be drawing all the time.
Wonderful.
Alright, so
I hope you're
that's,
all keeping track.
No, that's
So, yeah.
But let me just write it down. So, cheese 100.
Daniel, question: did you say that on Bergport there is a blacksmith, right?
Yeah, in fact, you saw it across the market green. It's near the inn. There's a large building that has a big chimney and is mostly focused on what seems to be the forge is the center point of that building. And there's some anvils. There doesn't seem to be anyone working there currently, but maybe there's something going on inside. And yeah, that's clearly the smithy.
Okay, so we need to ask to see first if someone is using or is responsible of the forge of the place. Okay.
I think, Maravilla, you would have noticed there is a statue in front of it of Moradin. So you think probably your presence would be quite useful in getting access to it.
While we are walking to the Hendrix home, I will ask Mara if she will help me to look at something on the forge if we have time. I don't know really how much time we're going to be here before leaving, or how much time will Johan need to fix the stuff. But if you have some time, if you can help me with a project.
Yes, sure.
Thanks.
By the way, Lina, do you have enough space for the whole cheese, or do you need help with that?
I have a haversack, so I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know
don't worry
that
about it.
you know that you can cheese siege to carry the cheese, right?
Yeah, but I
I
need
have
it with me.
floating disc too, if you need it.
I know. I'm good. I'm good. Don't worry about it.
So, as you guys
By the way, DM, did I find any books, like, but not journal, a book with information?
go ahead and roll a luck check. I'm gonna say you need a 19 or 20, which you guys have been getting, but it's unlikely. This isn't a place. There's no
Nope,
library
12.
here. Yeah.
12. All good.
How good am I?
So yeah,
on
you ask around in the
finance?
market and in the general store, and you're told that there isn't really a bookseller. So
All good.
your best bet is to ask in a larger city. So with
I
that-
was about to ask about special paper and ink for spells, but
I mean,
really
you
doubt
could
it.
see if someone sold some here, but again, it would be a luck check. Like you wouldn't even find like common potions of healing here. It's
If a chip has it to the big city, maybe, just maybe.
yeah, correct. Or if someone had to sell it because they needed the money.
Yeah. Question.
Alright.
When someone buys a component pouch, is just the pouch or does it come with stuff?
It comes with the
Okay.
with the components inside. So
Okay.
unless it's a spell that has a component that is consumed
Monetary.
with each use, it's all in the component pouch.
Okay, cool.
So-
So I guess Lena would buy one of those as well, if there are any. Could
I think you have
could I
one.
use my?
I think you would have one from Hammerfast. You can
Oh,
restock
okay.
on simple things.
Okay, so I'll write it down, and I'll bother you with some more stuff when I find some more stuff. Actually,
Sure.
yeah, no, I'll bother you later. Okay.
So you make your way out of the city, past a couple of small farms, and you go to the small home. Actually, it's a decent sized home, but there's a pen, and you see there are several sheep. It appears that they've been shorn maybe 4 or 5 months ago, so their wool is starting to grow back. And Johan, do you take the lead to go to the? Do you
Yeah,
yell from outside? Do you go knock at the door?
I'm going to knock at the door. Hi!
Hold on,
It's
let me
me.
find some music for this, because I'm prepared for the scene, but not the music for it.
Sage is still on the back with his cape and hood on.
So the door opens and you see a middle-aged man. White hair, lines on his face, a beard that is, may have been a darker color once, but is now almost entirely gray. There's a slight curve to his back, but he sort of stretches up when he looks at Johan, and it takes maybe a couple of seconds before his eyes widen a bit and he goes, "Oh." And then his eyes go and see the rest of you, and it furrows a bit in confusion and goes, come in. I think he probably looks at Keldav and Maravilla and seen probably people of smaller size before, and then doesn't really know how to gauge Siege, as I believe you are mostly a large cloaked figure who moves with the clanking of metal. So he invites you all to come into a fairly simple rustic home, but it's well lived in. Clearly it's been many decades that this man has lived here. I think, Keldav, you would notice there's some signs of dust gathering in corners. This home used to have more people, and now he's just him living here, and so the same kind of care hasn't been taken as once. And it's a large table that there's no chairs that are sized for Keldav and Maravilla, but you guys have no trouble scrabbling up high onto the taller chairs. I think, Siege, if you sit down...
No.
All right. So
I
you stay
prefer
standing.
to be a stand. I remember the last time, so no.
So he offers you water or milk and some sort of dry bread.
It's alright, Hendrik. These people already ate. We are just passing by the town, and we thought that we should make a visit. after all, you were really kind to me, and hey, I got to leave this town because of you. So yeah.
They must have taught you a lot there in Hammerfest. You were.
No, they
You
expelled
were-
me right away.
You guys see as that totally makes sense. Wait, but then how are you here looking like so well put together? Like,
Trust me,
Oh.
they're lost. Long story. This is some friends that I have made on my travels, and yeah,
oh,
we came to
pleased to
see
meet
how
you.
how are you doing.
Oh,
This is hard.
I'm okay. It's lovely to see you. I often wondered. I'd ask occasionally the merchant caravans. I figure at some point you'd make enough news that I'd hear about it. I mean, it only took you a couple of weeks before you were the talk of the town here. I figured how much longer could it take in a city like Hammerfest? How long were you there?
Maybe a month, maybe two. It's just a footnote on the pages of my story.
How much time has passed since we started traveling?
So I think it's been about 7 or 8 months by now
Yeah.
since Siege woke up.
So I believe maybe I was with City
Since
for
you woke up, I woke up like 3 months before that. So
Oh.
yeah.
So it's been a year since they last saw each other, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, the first time we met, it was like 6 months ago, and Mara about 3 or 4 months ago, if I'm not mistaken.
No, Maravilla, you guys met in Harkin, which is it's only been a couple of months. And you guys met in the middle of the adventure in Harkin,
Yeah, that's right.
and that lasted a couple of weeks, and then you've had about a month. Since then.
I'm going to look at Mara and Caleb. Okay, all right. You wanted this, so here it is. Say something.
Hey.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Hendrik. I long to hear the stories you have about our friend Johan. How did you saw him? What happened? How was he?
I was taking care of my flock, and he points out the window at the sheep. And I saw him wandering in the hills and mountains. He seemed lost. He didn't have a kind of clothes you need. It was summer, so it wasn't too bad. But back then I'm not sure he could have handled himself. There's wolves occasionally. So I brought him here, and he stayed with me for a few days, and then he started fixing things around the house, and he made a gate for the paddock, and then he was looking at the fishermen, and back then they'd have to put down a plank between their ship and the dock and push the crates onto the plank, and then someone would have to throw a rope and pull it on, and he started sketching and he points actually I don't know if you can see it, but he points in the direction of the crane that you guys would have seen. And it's a fairly simple mechanism that you guys would have seen in Falkrist, probably not in Hammerfest, because if they have cranes, those are probably underground. But it's a block and tackle system, sort of pulleys, and maybe there's a place to set a counterweight to make it easier to lift the crane and then push it over out onto the sea to pick something up, and then turn it back around to put things down on the dock. And he describes basically how he had some friends still from when his husband used to fish out in the ocean, and so they still knew him, and he managed to convince them to give Johann some time to put up this prototype, and it worked so well that the council came to see it, and eventually he got a budget approved for the much larger crane that was installed here in the main brick platform. And then like he goes a bit quiet and goes, "Wow, shame it only lasted 6-7 months. It started to get sticky, and the gears, they
Just
started
a
rusting."
prototype. I'm about to work in something much greater and better, and it's going to last for eternity.
So is Ari like flitting around you as you?
Yeah.
That's amazing. Is that?
I know. A marvel of engineering.
Johan is very intelligent.
That's it's true.
Yes,
That-
that
that's
was
actually-
clear.
He's actually now, he has a title. He's the Wizard of Harkin. And we are the heroes of Harkin.
I'm gonna roll a d20 to see if he knows what Harkin is.
I
That's
imagine he does
adorable.
not, but again.
Backwater town.
Does someone here know what Harkin is?
So you see his eyes glimmer with recognition. He goes, "That's incredible. Oh, it must have been 30 years since I was last there. Do you have a room in the castle? A tower, maybe?"
Yeah, actually, I have some lunch with the Baron. He discussed things with me to see how to run the town. And
Is it
give some
still
advice.
Baron Stockmer? He was
I don't
very
know.
kind. We were
Was he?
getting some shipments of lumber. Yes.
Who
And
was the
you
name
see-
of the Baron? I don't know. I
That
just
it is
see the
indeed Baron
actually-
Stockmer.
Oh yeah.
Who
This is
was
still
a very
around.
old man with no heirs when you left. Although you heard some of the young nobles of Falkrist were going to go in that direction.
Not if
with
I
the-
have something to say.
Well, you're
I don't
not there
answer
now.
to anyone. Like, they need to prove themselves.
In fact, I believe one of the things in the downtime that was mentioned was you delivered a letter from the Lord Warden in Hammerfast to one of the daughters of the Lord Warden to tell her basically, "Hey, we need you to come back. We need to come home." So presumably that's been going on in the week since you arrived in Hammerfast. But yeah, when you left, Johan, you had not been introduced to any young nobles.
Yeah, we're going to see about that. Like, I have to like it first. Then you can become the Baron. Berg.
Wow, that's incredible. And how did you show him? And he points to Ari like, what?
Oh no! We saved the city, the town of a diabolical cult that was forming right there. Some mercenaries just take the whole Vale and.
That's
Ooh,
terrible. My goodness.
I mean, for them,
But you-
we kill them and liberate the town. Smiles all around.
He's like having trouble processing because he knew you this is like someone saying, "Hey, remember the kid who built that really cool tower out of Lego? Yeah, he made a cannon and he sunk a battleship." Like that's the level of so he's like, "I knew you were smart, but I'm not seeing how that applies to what you're telling me happened." But so he's just accepting this and he sort of looks back at your clothes and goes,
You should
"What a story."
meet our companions or steed or whatever. There's a drake, a giant. Is it a sheep or a goat? I forget.
It's a goat.
Penelope's a
A
giant
goat.
goat.
A giant goat.
She's the goat.
And
some.
Rohid is an elk of some kind.
Elk.
Celestial elk. And a celestial elk. I think you should. They're in town.
I would love to. Sure, I hadn't planned on heading into the market today, but I suppose I could always get some more eggs. Sure.
How does the house look? is like in this repair?
A little bit. You see, there are some places in the roof that have been patched recently in the last year. But it looks like it hasn't been painted in a long time. Like all the windows are still working, all the doors are still there. But yeah, there's some dust piling up in the corners, and yeah, it seems like there used to be more people living here, and yeah.
I'm going to look at Keldav, and if I notice the same thing that Maravilla just noticed, why don't you accompany Hendrik to the market so he can get whatever he needs, and I'm going to leave the house ready for when you return.
I think you need some help. I think
I don't.
Siege could be a...
I don't.
No? You're good?
Thank you.
Okay.
Are you sure?
good.
I have no problem being here with you.
I
help.
have all the help I need. Don't worry.
Okay. Hendrix, do you want to see the companions?
Sure. Yes. He sort of turns to you and, well, it's all in the... You remember where the feed for the sheep are, and I have some buckets of water, and of course the well is not too far.
Hendrix, I think he can manage. Don't worry.
Yes. Did you say Drake? What? And sort of...
Yeah, and we go.
As soon as they leave, I'm going to start casting Unseen Servant, like just, in this case, I don't know, spirit, anima, I don't know what
Sure.
it has to be, to repair the house, do the chores. I'm not doing shit, I'm just sitting.
I think, yeah, Sam would say that, they are willing to help if you can.
Yeah, I'm going to put Sam, I'm going to summon the servants, I'm sending Ari, but I'm staying on my place while everyone else is clean.
Sure.
I mean,
Does it?
work smart, not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. Super true. Does it seem like it's decorated? Like, are there any portraits of things hanging on the walls, or is it like super
There
plain?
are no portraits. You see, there are some, like, rugs, made of both of wool and some other fabrics that are like hanging on the walls to maybe take the chill away and help with the sound dampening. That seems most of the decoration. There are some flowers planted outside, and that seems to be the main of it. There are some like clay, not necessarily sculptures, but like decorative items that are placed on top of shelves or the occasional like small table, that sort of thing.
Okay, so nothing like, I don't know,
There is no-
picture
yeah, there are
or
no-
portrait of a relative or
Correct.
something like that. Okay, I understand.
We are walking, right, with Hendrik.
Yeah.
Siege will ask Hendrik, do you need any help carrying something? Are you right?
Oh yeah, I'm okay. I make this walk once a week or so. I'm all right. And you see, he'll occasionally like wave at certain people in the town who are very surprised. Like, they knew him from having the weirdo a year ago who did stuff around the town, but I think most of them at no point connected the guy who left with the group of strange people who came back and made all this commotion with the alderman and then in the market. So yeah, he explains that he lives a bit outside the town. He'll usually go and take care of his flock, and then he'll just come into town to buy some supplies, and then occasionally when it's time for him to sell his wool, then he'll hire someone to come with a cart and load up and bring it into town.
I go with them and I keep asking him, like, was Johan always his charming self, or did he develop his personality along the
way?
during the
No,
days?
he never really got along with anyone.
Okay.
he couldn't stand conversation with anybody really. He was he very impatient young man, and it's so bright. I mean, the kind of things he could build here. I mean, he just had a saw and some hammer and nails, and then when he got access to the smithy, of course, he made a marvelous gearbox. I mean, even I could lift a heavy crate off the pier. It was quite impressive until it stopped working.
I have another question. Did he like to eat back then?
No.
Oh.
Often he would forget to eat. He would be eating and then he would start thinking about something and he would just stop, and I would have to remind him. His skin was all I don't know what happened to him, but he was always that pale color. Is he eating now? He looks a bit better.
Yes. No. Yes.
No.
No.
No. Sadly to say no.
So okay, it's a kind of a weird question. He has a magical item right now that floats around his head that nourishes him, and it means that he doesn't need to eat or sleep, if I'm not mistaken.
Just eat.
Just eat?
Sadly,
I'm sorry.
I still have
Okay.
to sleep.
Okay. He doesn't need to eat right now.
Why would someone not want to eat?
My point
know.
exactly.
I mean, let's not rehash a discussion we already had. It's
Yeah.
It's
okay.
It seems that we have this conversation about once, twice a week.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Too often.
I'm so glad he found friends, and I'm a little surprised that so many of you get along with him.
I'm in bed with him.
He's a tough cookie.
I mean, to be
Real
honest,
tough.
I think he's smart, and he is trying to be kind, or
Well, that's
what he
new.
thinks is kind. It's okay. It's a new development for us as well. I do think he's a really good companion in battle. He's one of the most skilled in battle that I've had the pleasure to.
You know
How
what?
does
He
he-
remembers me like my Aunt Lupita, that she didn't have any filters, you know? Like she just blurted out whatever she thought. It's like
Yes, he does
thing
that.
with my aunt.
I won't be here
How
if
does-
not for Johan.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I mean, I'm sorry for whatever happened, but I'm glad he was there for you. How does
He activated me.
How,
Okay,
how,
before
how does he
we have
fight?
that, so that's kind of hard because he's changed his style of fighting like 3 times by now.
That's not Johan's fault. That's the flyer's fault.
That's, I mean, I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying that happened.
I mean, it's canon.
Yeah.
So he started with some kind of armor and shooting, and then he started throwing some flasks, and then
Learn magic.
then he started basically being a wizard.
Oh yeah, he's actually a wizard.
Yeah,
Yes.
I knew he was-
surprisingly.
Wow, I didn't. I don't think he knew any of that.
No, no.
Here.
The magic thing is new.
Wow.
Even for us.
Well, I'm glad he's learning to be kind and he's spending time with you. It was very clear that he could be great, but I was a little worried. You know, early on, he the most of the useful things for the town, it was a means to an end sort of a thing. Like he was never going to be able to convince the council to help him get to Hammerfast, so we had to, let his work do the talking and him not talk at all. But it was very clear that he was a brilliant wizard. Wow.
So now that we arrived, I think you need to understand the reason we have the Drake is in part because of Johan. And I'll open the barn doors, and I'll show him El Gato. I'll go beside him and just scratch behind the ear. I imagine
I think
El Gato by now.
El Gato's, lying down, and
and I say he helped us control this Drake in the beginning with a potion that he made.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Do you want to touch him?
Sure. And he comes up and starts scratching at El Gato, and very quickly you see seems to find the places where El Gato enjoys, and there's some understanding of how to handle animals. Well, this is remarkable. Why are you you didn't come here all the way just to see me, did you?
No, we're in our way. This is just we're going to the other continent on the other side of the sea.
Oh. Well, good luck. I mean, you clearly seem to be, you can handle yourselves, I'm sure. Yeah.
Do you have any questions, by the way?
I think you can make an insight check.
Okay.
As you see, he just sort of fades into a memory or a prior experience.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that high with my +8. I had a 12. I rolled like
Two.
shit.
Yeah, so it's not. What you get is that it's nothing to do with the continent. It's the fact that it's a long sea voyage.
Oh.
And that's what he's lived here probably for many decades, and you gather probably has some experience with disasters,
And he's-
storms at sea.
And he's... Wait, and now is Keldav
Yeah.
connecting the dots and
remember-
saying, the husband was
Correct.
a fisherman. It's a bigger house, and I'm like... So, I don't mean to pry, but just a question out of curiosity. It's the first time this is the first time I see the sea. I think most of us haven't been in a big ship before. Do you know anything? I imagine you have experience with it.
Oh, well, once or twice I made my way to Icebeak. I prefer to stay on land, but it's impressive. It's very easy to get lost. I mean, I'm up high on the mountains, and then I'll turn and look out, and well, it's one of the great sort of primal experiences, I suppose. Being out in the open water, it's, I suppose, much like if we could suddenly fly like birds looking out at the sky. But it's dangerous too. There's not just the sharks and the beasts, but also, well, I mean, make sure you stop by the temple before you go and make an offering. It's
Which temple?
Oh, the Cliffstone Temple. It's one of the oldest around in the town. It's important to make sure, Cord and Melora, that they're appeased, that they watch over you on your journey.
Sounds
Melora, he
good.
said?
Cord and Melora.
Cord-
Cord is
The-
god of
Cord, okay.
storms, and Melora is goddess of nature.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that was the
The one of the
I'm
dove.
trying to find
Yeah. From
the
way
one I
back.
was, Yeah. I'm trying to find my. Yeah, no, I was no. No, I'm mistaken. I was thinking about Avandra. Nope, don't worry.
No, the one, the core one was the dove. I believe the grandfather, the one that talked with Six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way at the start of
absolutely.
the campaign on the home game.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, but I was thinking about. I mistook Melora with Avandra.
Oh, okay.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was my mistake. Yeah, we'll make sure we pay our respects.
Good.
I mean, and I point to Maravilla and Gufran and say we do have some people of the faith with us.
Yeah, that's nice, but and he sort of looks at Maravilla and goes, "Yeah, I mean, Moradin, he's known in these parts," and he sort of looks at Gufran, and it's not clear, like, but she doesn't seem like a cleric of the storm, or
No, definitely not.
No.
yeah, but it's it can be treacherous. A quiet day can have a very tumultuous night.
How do you...
Should I need to save something to Gore?
Oh, it's always good to.
This is Sage asking generally.
Well, it's always good to ask for permission, or to let Cord know it's what kind of challenge you're looking for, and what your personal goal is, and if that's something that he can respect, then you'll have a good wind at your back. But if it isn't, then, well, squalls and a storm, and then he'll test your strength in that way, I suppose. That's what they say, anyway.
I'm good with the storms.
Yes, you look very formidable.
Stormy. Do you want to go to the market? You said something about some eggs.
Yes, I'm already here. I might as well walk a bit more before I head back.
Scratch el gato and close. Or
This is Jose. I just surprised that it's not the owner of the barn trying to look at El Gato.
Well, it hasn't been that long since.
Okay.
He wants to
Killed
get some
them.
friends.
Yeah, correct.
I'll pay for the eggs.
It's a few copper pieces.
I'll actually give. I'll buy a couple more things. Like I'll spend 2 silver, just so he has anything that he needs for like meal or whatever.
Heldrick, sir, do you know if we need to talk to someone to get access to the blacksmith, to the forge?
Oh, yes. It's the Drimgur and Roris stone kiln. They run the stone baked forged. Well, your friend here, Maravilla, I believe. Yeah, Moradin is not represented at the temple, so those who worship generally do so at the forge. So, I'm sure they'll allow you to whatever it is you want to do. I assume it's worship related. I'm not sure how that works.
No.
Oh, well,
But thanks.
yes. No, yes. Any questions also? And he sort of like looks around. I'm sure you can find, and he points to this house. The alderwoman, Miss Holder, she lives there. She's quite nice. She comes and checks on me a couple of times a month.
Holder?
Yes, Jen Holder. Alderwoman Jen Holder.
We had the pleasure of meeting Alderman Thomas Lackman.
Oh, yes. He's very helpful. He negotiates with the caravans for the price of wool. He's quite nice in that regard. We used to have to set up a stand here, or there would be a go-between. But the alderman was quite adamant that if we pooled our wool, I suppose, we could get a better price, and so far that's been the case. Yes. But Miss Holder, she was a friend of ours before she got elected to the council. She's been very good with the fisher folk. And he sort of like gets a bit lost, and you see like he just sort of like trails off. He goes, "Oh, thank you for the eggs. So kind. Please, if you have business at the forge or at the temple or with the council, it's been very nice to see you and to see Johan again. But I don't want to keep you."
Oh, you're not keeping us, Hendrix.
Not at all.
Hendrik, let's go back to your house.
Oh, thank you. I can make some. And he looks at the fact that you bought some extra eggs. We can have some eggs for supper.
Much appreciated. I think we should eventually go back to the Swift Seal.
All right. So if no one has anything else, I think we're back at the home. And Alejandro, what does it look like? I'd say it's been probably 2 hours.
Enough time to get everything clean, all things repaired. I don't have time to get some I don't know, shopping done, but it's on a better
Condition. Yeah.
condition. Yeah.
And you see his eyes go wide when he comes in and goes, Oh, you didn't have to. Thank you so much. And he sort of like turns to the rest of you and go, he is being kind. You're right.
Shut the fuck up, Hendrik.
Oh, that's more like before. But thank you so much. Are there do you still have Sam and your constructs out, or would you have put things away when you saw them approaching?
You can see nothing. It's just Sam and Ari.
Wait, Sam's out?
Sam is out.
Okay.
He repaired the roof.
Mm-hmm.
some spirits. I don't know.
So
I was
probably-
about to
yeah.
write the thing to you, but
Yeah.
I'm going to say it out loud. In the time that the group went away, Johan would search for the place where Hendrik keeps its savings,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, you
I'm
find it,
going
no
to.
problem.
On the meantime, Johan would sketch like a detailed plan to expand the ship operation and hire some people and get like a complete plan and layout. And he would write, "Up to you, Hendrik. You can use this. Hire some kids, some people to help you with the ship, so you can live the rest of your days gambling. If not, use the coin as you see fit. Either way, you helped Johan Blackstone become the man that he is today, and when he's so much more, know that his gratitude isn't nothing. And I'm going to leave 70 platinum on the thing."
Well, Hendrik definitely doesn't find that now while you're here, but perhaps in the future, if you scry, you might get an inkling as to his reaction to that. Very generous act. So, do you guys stay for supper of eggs and bread?
No, I mean, Kelda wants to go to the Swift Seal.
Yeah,
So
I would say that it was just a visit, and I'm going to look at Keldavis. There is no debt. You're right. I have to pay. No, I don't. I can't allow someone to have something to get me. You know. So I'm going to pay Siege too. Don't worry.
It's more than to get you, but it's okay. I think it's the good. You're in.
I'm trying to
in a good
gain
direction. You're correct.
I'm trying
all
to
good.
get some renown. Like I need more name to my name. You know.
Yeah.
Oh,
We actually have a conversation about marketing that we need to talk about,
Yeah.
but only if you want.
Also,
Yeah.
Johan, don't worry. You have a lot of time to pay me back.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm trying to not die.
Me neither.
That's like my favorite thing to do. Not die.
Me neither.
all right. So there was probably a moment of interaction between Sam and Hendrik as as Sam introduced itself, and Hendrik was, incredibly surprised and awed, but a little like after the many stories you had told, a little more accepting. And
I will say that I also introduced myself properly at that moment.
yeah, I think there's been so many surprises that it just has another incredible thing. There's no like questions about what kind of creature you are. Hendrik just takes it in as another incredible thing, that another incredible, person that is traveling with Johan.
Yeah, I'm going to only to say him that thanks him for help Johan. Because of that, he helped me. So I'm in debt. I'm thankful to both of them.
He sort of like pats your hand and says that it's what anyone should do. He sort of keeps going. And then Sam would probably request to get, like put back away if you're not going to let him walk around the town.
Good point.
No, you can.
And then, yeah. So by now it's probably getting close to dusk. It's probably 6:30, 7 p.m. So is there anything you guys want to get done in the last few, hour
Where are
maybe?
we staying?
I assumed you
Indeed.
guys were, yeah, you either at Hendrik's house or at the Swift Seal, basically.
Oh, I mean, I always imagined we were going to stay in the Swift Seal. That's what we talked about last time.
Okay, you can go and party. I'm going to. I need to sketch some things. So that's
Okay. I mean, remember that the meeting with the captain is going to be in the Swift Seal.
That's why we are going to be there.
Call me when she's ready. I'm going to.
Are you gonna be in a room on the Swift Seal or
Yeah.
outside? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
don't worry.
going to start planning the new crane.
Okay.
Got it.
I can get that thing done, and then we can.
By the way, just for your... In the woods, we use a lot of cranes. If you want some ideas.
Do you want me? Do you want me to ask you that you help me?
I mean, I'm offering.
All right, bring your ass over here.
And I imagine we go...
Everyone, please tell us when the captain is here. You don't want
Alright.
to have this conversation without Geldav.
Sure, I'll send you a message.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think what you find, Johan and Kildav, when you reach the crane, it's very evident that most of the initial construction that Johan made is still there. The long arm and the setup for the counterweight is still there. The rotating platform that allows it to move. But the metal gearbox that you had installed that allowed like a single person like turning a like a with a bar to
Correct.
lift up very heavy things is completely missing, and in its place is a huge wooden wheel like tall enough for Siege to stand inside of it. And as you're there, tied nearby about maybe 15 feet away is a donkey with a long lead and a stake. And you realize that what they do is there's now this massive wheel that is connected to the crane, and in theory a person could like stand in the wheel and like turn it, but they get the donkey in there to start walking and exert the force necessary to lift up the crane. I think, yeah, make an intelligence check with proficiency, and go
advantage.
ahead and take advantage because Keldav is like helping you.
What I'm trying to do here is like my Magnus opus of cranes. Like I want something that
Okay.
could.
Let's see what comes out. Let's see what the dice say.
I don't
That's-
have a cat, so I can roll now.
That's probably the first time that's ever been said, by the way.
The best crane to ever crane. Because I want to leave some legacy. And as I'm thinking of this, I want to consider Maravilla's expertise on metal, actually. Like,
Okay.
I'm thinking on materials that I didn't have before. That wasn't that good, but it's with advantage. That's okay, that's better. 16 plus 5 plus proficiency 3 right now, right?
How
Yep.
can I help
24.
Johan with this?
I mean,
It's getting the hell by
you already had advantage, but you can help him
Guidance.
later with some of the. If you wanted to go with him to look at the crane, you could have.
I mean, I don't know if Siege wants to go right now to the.
I figured now. Yeah.
It's opportunity, but I'm waiting for to know how much time we will have.
21.
I mean, probably the captain will appear at some point during the night.
Okay, so we have time.
Seal to come in and have a drink.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have.
So I guess
go with-
we
Probably a
all
couple
go
of hours.
together.
25 so far. Do I have something to add to this roll?
So I give you guidance.
I'm gonna give you Bardic Inspiration, but I don't think it's necessary.
We are
it's
going
always
for the
necessary.
Magnus Opus. It's
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
necessary.
But I'm gonna load the Bardic Inspiration that I'm gonna use for this, by the way.
Yay!
So your bardic inspiration is at the 8?
It's a D8, yeah. Let me triple check, but roll a D8 and then I'll tell you if that is correct or not. But I think it's a D8 because then it goes to D10.
25, 28, and now
Yeah,
the guidance. 20, 30. Just the 30.
Hey,
Wow.
Anything else?
No, that's I mean, like, I already didn't have anything planned beyond 25. Okay, so the first thing is you go back to your previous design and you figure out how you could make it rust proof. And that would either require some kind of oil placed above it. You could treat the metal, what's called bluing the metal, to make it more resistant to rust. There's also something that you are aware of that you learned in Hammerfest that can be done is you can place what is called a sacrificial piece of metal that rusts faster than the rest, and you kind of bond it to the larger structure, and then you only have to like replace that piece. But then, like, as you're getting advice from Keldav and Maravilla, you realize that would only prolong the same kind of problem that your initial design had, where it would require someone of at least similar intellect and capacity to you to be able to maintain it. So if you want something that is going to be an enduring legacy, you have to not only come up with an incredible design, it has to be simple enough to maintain and replace components that the people in this village can do it, which means you have to limit many of your, like, it can't be materials that are too rare if they're going to rust. And you realize it's even possible that you could like keep the wheel if you wanted to. You could design something equivalent to a gearbox with pulleys and the kind of thick, heavy rope that they already use for their rigging. And so if you're keeping something like that, what other places can you improve? And you go back to the structure, you can make it so that the counterweight system is reconfigurable. You can have a kind of sliding position to of counterweights on the top, and then you look at the rotating center and you realize probably that could also be extended if you set up rails along the edges of the brick structure. The whole crane could move back and forth, and then if you make it simple enough, just simple like wooden rails that they could replace, if this structure, like this brick, eventually becomes bigger, it would be fairly simple for the people of the town to put more rails and eventually have a completely mobile craned platform that could shift around. And if there are any additional flourishes that any of you can come up with,
I imagine that if this is a collaborative effort, is like Lina doing the blueprints,
Actually-
Maravilla, Keldav, and Johan, like white helmet, talking about the things like, oh yeah, we have to do this and the materials.
And Sitch is
Yeah, Lina would-
supervising.
Sitch is going to move the things when we start. Finish.
Yeah, Lina would be using performance of creation to create prototypes and give them to you to inspect. Like, this could be a good or bad idea for a mechanism.
If we suck at adventuring, we become civil engineers.
Yeah,
an incredible design firm. Yeah. And meanwhile, Gufran is petting the donkey.
All right. So we leave. We have the blueprints. We have all the things. We can do this. We have the instruction. We present the project tomorrow, and they have to build it. Good job all around.
yeah, it's very doable. I like it.
Who is going to build it?
The town.
Yeah. I'm planning to leave the blueprints to them with our signature, of course. So they can build them. Do me proof. Maybe we can help if we don't sail like tomorrow.
I actually have a question about that, and it's something that I've wanted to ask for a long time. I don't think it's gonna be a good idea to actually say we're the heroes of Harkin, because we're gonna go to places where Harkin means nothing.
Well, we can scratch the Harken part and keep the heroes.
I mean, okay, I'm just saying,
I think we need a name of some sort.
We are the heroes of.
To be fair, it adds to the mysticism. Like you said, I'm the hero of Harken, and they say,
Yeah.
"Holy fuck!"
I was
What
I
is
was
that?
thinking. Yeah, I was thinking about. Fuck
That
off.
is the inspiration that Lina.
Perfect.
No way.
I feel inspired.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
Incredible.
So, again,
That is on a corner from the blueprint. It's like that drawing.
Yeah, definitely. I use that paper to do all the other sketches as well.
no, I was thinking about this. What's the thing that everyone talks about when we arrive?
Please go away.
No.
Who
not
are
the first
you?
thing they say. Not the first thing they say. The first thing they talk about.
The Drake?
Exactly.
Siege? Your weird face?
Kinda.
I mean, my face is weird. I don't think it's something to talk about beside the Drake. I mean, your face is fucking insanely weird as well. I'm not gonna mention.
That isn't a good retort. You're
It
right.
is
I'm
a
not-
very good
trying to
retort. It's actually really difficult to draw you.
Thank you. Okay, so
There you go.
That's a compliment. She said it that last night.
No, I don't mean it as a compliment. Let's continue.
okay, I was just saying, why don't we have like a name with that? I don't have an idea. I'm just suggesting.
Look.
But-
Maybe
but
we are just all like dragon and scale theme. Like I had a test with a dragon. Maybe I was the dragon. I can call myself the dragon. You can be the Drake, and I don't know. Lina is the iguana. Maravilla is the gecko. And Sage can be like a crocodile or something.
I'm a warford.
I'll
And we
take
have like
chameleon.
code names.
Actually, that is actually a really good idea. I
Oh, yes,
think
I'm going
we
to
need to
read
have
it.
lists for this kind of thing. Like a list of group names and list of code words that we need to use.
Miss Gecko. Mr.
Yeah.
What was your dragon? Mr. Dragon?
Yeah, I'm dragon. You saw my chest. It has a
I think-
red dragon. I am the
think
red
if-
dragon of
If we
Harken.
want to do something like that, maybe the name should be something along the lines of Scale and Claw.
While you're pondering that, Johan, you hear in your head Sam say, "The chest of the other person, E, also had the dragon."
Yeah, maybe we were like the dragons of this whole place. By the way, I said it last session. I'm using like the reversible cloak, and I have on my like an armband the symbol, just to see who reacts.
So far, you haven't noticed any reaction.
I gather, but just a reminder.
I have a kind of high passive insight, so I'm gonna also help.
Yeah,
Johan
keep
with that.
keep an eye
Yeah.
on things.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not good with names, actually, to be honest.
Scale and claw, heroes of the scale, heroes of the claw,
I don't know.
scale and
And
heroes.
it's gonna happen at some point.
Dungeons
but
and
I think that's actually a very good name.
I think it's used.
Have you been in many dungeons or fought many dragons?
We technically were in a dungeon,
And
I
we
am a
fought the
dragon.
dragon.
and we fought a dragon.
I am a dragon, and I went to that dungeon.
You are a human.
Yeah, I'm going to be a dragon someday, some way.
Wait,
Whatever.
weren't you going to be like a lich or something like that? When we
I don't know.
go
I'm just
to-
exploring ideas.
Okay.
I mean, a dragon lich could be cool.
A Draco Lich. Okay, group name.
That actually sounds like a really, like the start of a really good name. The Draco somethings.
Draco.
The Draco somethings.
The Draco Mara. The Draco.
Hero. Draco.
I imagine
Draco.
Mara actually saying the Draco Mara.
Look, I want to sign this magnificent crane with our names, so we have a legacy. And I'm going to instruct the alderman, like, if you don't become like some really big port by the end of the year with this design, you need to resign to your post and put someone more capable, because this is like the first contribution of this group to a community, aside from saving their lives.
The first constructive contribution. The other one was destructive.
Yeah.
Why was distracted?
So everyone can say,
never mind.
oh, everything Johan touches is a better place now.
I think for this one, because it's not really, I mean, it's pretty constructive for everybody. I don't think we need like a group name for this. We can just write our own names.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the last several times we introduced ourselves with that name, Heroes of Harkin, it's been hit or miss. I think if we're thinking about actually continuing our quests.
Look, if we don't go with the whole thing with the name, I still think that code names could be really cool, like titles that we use.
Yeah.
I already claimed Dragon.
I'm Siege.
Siege the Siege.
Yeah. Code name is a name you assign yourself, so we know we're talking about you, but no one else knows we're talking about you. If we use your same name as a code name, everybody else is also gonna know we're talking about you.
Or
Yes,
a title
I know.
inside of our
Siege-
organization.
Siege is not is my code name. My complete name is Assault Unit. How was it? Prototype Unit.
information for
Oh
you now.
shit! I have it noted in somewhere, but it's something like
Evangelion 01.
something like that. Yeah.
Test type.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Prototype unit for Siege and Assault Model 01, something like that. I need to find my
Yeah, I understand that's your whole name, Siege. I'm saying that we need another code name so we only know that is your
Like-
code name when we talk
Like
about it.
Siege the Destroyer. Siege
No,
the
that's-
Breaker.
Yeah, that's a title.
That's a title, that's not a code name.
Yeah.
But maybe I want maybe I want
I mean,
a
that's
title.
cool.
I mean,
It's
it's
cool.
not okay.
That's what I mean. We need lists, okay? But the Draco somethings, that's going somewhere.
Yeah.
I
Dragons.
like that.
Those are cool.
Yeah,
I want to kill one.
With daggers? With daggers in the heart?
Yeah. And something. An M and a C and a DM.
Yeah, masterfully classed monster destruction.
Yeah. Anyway,
Anyway,
we
yeah,
are
we're
signing
getting...
this and go with the crew captain.
I'm so sorry, Mats.
By the way,
They are not saying
you?
this.
It's kind of
Yeah.
What's the
time.
how late is it?
By the time you guys are finished with the design, it's probably like 7:30. It's like the sun has set and it's dark.
Siege, you said
probably
something
have-
about the blacksmith. Do you want us to go today or tomorrow?
Do you think this is open today? Maybe they are
It's
going
kind of
to...
light.
It's kind of light.
It's kind of late.
Maybe it's better tomorrow.
Okay. Let's go to the inn then.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move you over back to the town map.
Yeah. Basically, say Siege will say that it's have an idea for a project, but need Mara help for that.
Okay.
So you guys make your way to the Swift Seal, and by the time you get there, there's quite a few people in the large room on the first level. Actually, I have a bunch of songs of. Hey, this is the bit that I didn't quite prepare. All of the music. Tavern music. Yeah, tavern music. Yeah. Alright.
Oh, this place
So
sounds
apparently
familiar.
there's very lively music in the tavern. As you guys come in, I'm sure some of the sailors have instruments that they probably use at sea to entertain themselves, and they brought them with them in here. You see the proprietor is a young hill dwarf, and most of the staff are dwarves as well, although there's some humans as well moving around with sort of plates and tankards moving around. It's quite full, but the building is several stories up, and you can imagine that there are rooms that you can rent, and if you wanted to not eat and drink here in the big open room, you might be able to retire to the rooms within. You looking around, you don't see Bill, but he was with a handful of sailors. Probably those weren't the only sailors of his ship, so maybe there are some here, but you're looking around, and yeah, so you don't see any of the group that were there at the time. So you are free to, how many rooms are you going to get? And if you're going to eat out here in the open room, the food that you smell is less varied than back at the market. It's mostly stews, and it seems like most of the other options are mashed potatoes and some kind of either fish or mutton, which is a kind of meat that you get in this town. So those are your options.
I just have a mental image of Siege trying to eat a mashed potato. I'm making a mess.
Oh no.
I remember
Yeah.
the movie Artificial Intelligence.
Yeah. AI.
AI.
I need to
Whatever
watch
you
that
want.
again. I'll make it out.
Yeah.
Lena basically proposes to have a room for the girls, a room for the boys, just to make it easy and simple.
I want a room for myself.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
So I'll be with Kelda.
Do you wanna share the room?
I don't need a room, but I understand why.
You need to be in a room.
That's
But
why I understand
it's only
why.
Kel that we can be together and
Yeah, let's go.
and Johan stays so. I don't know.
Yeah, that's good. So I'm counting 3 rooms.
Yeah, so it's 1 gold per night, and so 3 rooms, it's 3 gold, and the meals, breakfast and dinner are included.
Okay.
And so-
Lena's gonna offer to pay the room for the ladies.
I'll tell Siege.
Just in
Siege,
case.
don't worry. Keep your gold. I'll pay this time.
Okay.
Are we going to wait for the captain downstairs?
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm going
I-
to hang out.
Yeah, we could hang out downstairs. I think
Yeah,
we can
I'll
ask
be
around
downstairs.
questions too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So,
No. Sorry.
if there's anything you want to talk about amongst yourselves, or we can fast forward a couple of hours as you have your food, maybe if you want to go back up to your rooms to get changed or something, and then on the entrance of the captain.
I think that Siege will, while we are waiting for the captain, and because we didn't get to the forge, I will tell Mara my idea, basically why I need her help.
Okay, so we can plan.
Yes. So basically, Siege has been going to do it a little fast. Siege has been thinking about this since the exploration of the core that we had some days before. And after looking at the progress of Johan and everyone, he's worried that his damage output is kinda less. So was thinking asking you for help to summoning the spear, taking the axe, do something with this. Maybe I don't know if there is a way to. I'm going to chocarlos, combine
smashing them together,
smashing them
like.
together.
The sharp metal, rings against the stone. Ding,
And
ding.
because you're expert on that stuff, I need help because I don't know how to proceed.
Can I tell how long it would take? I think that more than a day to do that, something
It
like
would definitely take more than a day. There's a few things at the forge that you could do that you can't do right now, but you can do a bit. You can definitely inspect the weapons. Let's see. Do you have any particular spells that would be... Well, I think let's start with give me a wisdom check and add your proficiency modifier since you're proficient in smithing tools. Smith's tools.
I
How
can
do I do
heal.
that?
Sure, yeah.
I
So
I
go
roll
ahead and
whiz,
make that
and
with
how much
advantage.
do I add?
3.
Wisdom plus your proficiency, yeah.
My
which is three,
proficiency
I think.
is 3. Okay.
3.
so
I also have a smithing tool, so I can help.
Yeah. So with advantage.
26.
I think you're already proficient in that wisdom save. But go ahead, you have
Okay,
advantage, so go ahead and roll another one.
Okay.
So it is
So
23.
23
23
or-
is pretty good.
Or in... Ooh.
Ooh.
25.
All right, that does make some difference. You start with the dwarven made flaming battle axe. That one matches exactly with the kind of design of weapons that you are able to make. The enchantment is not one that you know, but it's a clear fire rune, and then you can see as the arcane matrix is set up to send that energy into the blade of the axe, both of them, and you realize the top of the axe is kind of flat, and just if you were looking to improve the sort of damage output that you could do with this axe, one thing that you can think of is separating the two heads of the axe and placing them on top of each other to create one much wider blade, and essentially making it into a great axe. And you know how it's fairly easy to reconfigure the enchantment to maintain that. And then you turn to the spear, and you remember what Johan had mentioned, that it's basically it's a magical material. And there's a moment where you remember like the adamantite chunk of ore that you have. Like, yeah, if you made a weapon like the blade of the axe with that adamantite, it would be incredibly powerful. It's difficult to change the blade of the axe with the spear that you have, because that's where all the enchantment is focused. So if you wanted to do something with the blade itself, you would have to basically, it would be a major reworking of the magical item. Basically, it would be creating a new one. But the handle of the axe is there's some magical reinforcement just as part of the weapon, but it is in fact, it could even be like replaced and altered. And there's a lot of space where you think like, if you could alter the shape of the spear, which is not something that you know how to do, because like working stone, you generally do by like chipping away at things. So would it be possible to chip away at the spear? Or, but also this is a spear that reforms itself, and as you're handling it, it's not that it's flaky, but there's tiny particles of ice that are coming off it. So you would have to maybe get some kind of someone who had more knowledge of the elemental chaos or of different elements. And like Siege, you remember Rythan the druid that you met in the druid's grove of Harkin?
Yeah.
You remember the experience that you had channeling lightning in her grove?
Yeah, the time when I exploded.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what you look at, Maravilla, is the flame rune. Like, Johan was messing around with arcane fire near Siege's core and saying that there was nothing reacting to it. But like, if this is a magical material, you could add the runes that you know onto the material of the spear and extend the flame effect that way. Like, what powers the magical enchantment is already in the axe. You would just have to extend the rune matrix into the material of the spear and channel the flame through that material.
But this
And, like,
won't.
It
This
will
would
be a
take a
long-
lot of time.
Yeah, it would take several days. But also, like, you need to get a better idea of what it is that you want the final objective to be. Like,
Right.
you think you could make it be, channel flame. You could have it replace the handle and make it essentially a flaming great axe. But could you retain the properties of the spear in the finished axe? Like, use the flame rune to access the element of fire, but if you knew more about how Siege's core channeled the energy, could you use the elemental chaos of the spear and the flame rune to connect to the fire energy that, in theory, Siege should be able to access, but he has no memory of ever doing, and you've never seen him do it.
So maybe we, as a process, maybe we can study the spear for some time and later try again to discern what we can do, maybe?
Yeah,
Or we should talk with someone.
Well, someone who could probably help you would be Johan, who has made magical items, and might help you to figure out how can you rework the spear. And once you know how much of that is mutable, that can tell you like what are the possibilities of design. Because yes, you could, like, what you know you could do is you could take the blade of the axe and put it on the spear and extend the flame enchantment and use that. But that's not using the properties of the chaotic
spear.
element of the stone. Like, that's the part that you're unsure of. Like, you can maximize the potential of the flaming battle axe. You can make it a flaming great axe, and you can extend the flame enchantment into the final weapon. But what you haven't cracked is how to actually use this extra planar material.
Okay.
So it's certainly possible to join them, but yeah, you're missing half of the possibilities.
Half of the boss. Makes
So
total
I tell
sense.
you all this and say, well, we should talk to Johan, but maybe this is not as simple as we. I mean, maybe it would take some time and
Yes. Honestly, I never thought that they will be done in a day. I saw you work. But with
Like a week?
yeah, I believe that. But I didn't know how much time will be here too. So
maybe after we talk with the captain, maybe she's not going to leave soon, and we have some time.
okay. Yes. We also need to talk with Johan then.
Yes.
Good. He's been very kind.
Yes. By the way, Lina, how are you with my?
Oh, am I here?
I don't know. I go to you like, wait, bye, Siege, and I ran to.
Bye, Mara.
I wanted to know how you were with my commission.
Okay. Could I roll a performance check for this, probably?
Sure.
Cause
I think it would be dexterity performance.
yeah.
Unless, yeah, you can.
Or charisma
unless you can tell me like.
Yeah, I mean,
Well-
I have it for charisma. But
I mean,
Like, how are you using your magic to create
yeah,
this?
I mean, it's not really using magic.
No,
It's
it's like
actually
the
just
drawing.
the skill of drawing, basically.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's dexterity plus your proficiency.
Okay, so that would be. Okay, I'm gonna add +3 to this. Actually, I would add a little bit more because I think. So that's a 13, but let me check.
you can add
Because-
your inspiration.
I can give
You
myself
inspire
inspiration. Can I?
No, you
No, I
can't
cannot
give you-
inspire other people. I can only inspire other people. I cannot inspire myself.
Maybe I can give you
But-
guidance each night while you did the drawing.
Sure. I can also add half my proficiency
Well,
to
are
any
you-
ability check that I do.
That's if you're not proficient, but I think you are proficient.
I am proficient in performance. Yeah, I am
Yeah,
actually
so
an
add-
expert. So
Oh, so that's +6.
yeah,
That's a 19.
yeah. Okay,
Alright,
so let's
that's
keep it
right
at
back.
19 just to keep the math short.
Yeah, that is a remarkable piece. It's. You tell me, like it's real. It's a very very good likenesses.
Okay, so at this point with a 19, I think Lina would be finishing the inking process, and starting to see shading and lighting around. But you have a very good idea of, and each one of them looks like really really glorious in a way. Johan especially looks far more glorious than he should be. For the weird reasons that Lena has, but yeah, it's been rough drawing, on the move, but it's been a lot of practice, and yeah, take a look at this. What do you think?
I like it, so do I have to roll for my locket?
Well, so what part of the locket is Maravilla focusing on? Like, what is the part that you are making?
I'm making all the locket in itself, and Lina is making like the drawing, so we put it in the locket. So I mean, maybe each night we look at the progress and say like, in order for the drawings to go well inside and whatever.
Yeah, to make adjustments. All right, so give me a dexterity check. Add your proficiency from your smithing tools, and I think you can add a bardic inspiration from Lina, because you
Lina
guys
would
were
give you a bardic
working together.
inspiration. I'm not going to spend an actual drawing on this, but Lina would make you a drawing of you at the forge. The lighting would be coming from the back, and you would be like sweaty all over, but also like super muscular with the most epic hammer and sparks all over you, and you'd look like all serious and professional making all of these.
So how much is the
That's
So
D8.
dexterity plus 3 for your proficiency, and I think it's a D8.
Yeah.
D8? So I'm going to roll the D8. Roll. 7 plus
Okay.
9 plus 3. So,
Wait,
so
there's
12
an
plus 7?
additional thing. It's an ability check, right?
wait.
Yes.
Okay, so you roll the bardic inspiration with advantage.
But I rolled
But
a
I mean-
7.
Oh,
Roll
but you
to
rolled
see
a
if-
7. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, see if it's
I mean,
an 8.
Wait.
But this is
19.
already, it's already a 19. So go ahead and roll
Yeah,
the
you choose-
D8, and if you get an 8, it's a 20. But it's,
Okay.
it's already a remarkable piece that the two of you are creating.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, still.
We tried.
So 19. So it is exactly as you wanted it, Maravilla, and feel free to describe the metal locket that you've created.
So this is a silver locket with the drawing of the not the face, like the head of raven, and you open it, and inside they're going to go inside the drawings that Lina's making of each one of us. It's made for anyone to hang in wherever you want, like in a chain, basically.
And when you open it, how are the drawings? Like, are they like pages in a book? Does it like
Yeah.
open and like okay?
I think maybe like pages like in a book, right?
It's up to you. Like it could be like several layers that you sort of flip, or like it could accordion out.
And I want to put una nota atrás.
A written
A
note.
dedication. Yeah.
Yeah, a dedication.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think that works perfectly. Like both of your characters are skilled enough, and even though you haven't made jewelry before, this is a fairly simple. Like there isn't fine engraving, and you're not having to carefully like twist wires around gems or anything like that. This could actually be like the kind of decorative flourish that you would put on a weapon or a piece of armor or a shield. Like that's the scale that you're working at. So yeah,
So when
you
the
do make
drawings are ready, we're going to the shading and the whatever Lina is missing.
Yeah, for sure. But I think I have a sketch that we can spare just for cutting and trimming. So Lina, do you have them ready, like the lockets, or do you still need to make them all?
No,
I
it's
think
one
the locket
locket
is-
with all
one
the
locket?
drawings
Oh,
inside.
one locket with all
Yeah.
of them. Okay,
Okay.
fantastic. So Lena's going to take a sketch, and she's going to start cutting, to try to match the size and see if the dimensions are correct. Actually, there's actually something that I also wanted to talk to you about, because I know that you forge things and stuff. Like, is it difficult for you to find things or to find materials to experiment with?
I mean, it's with the things that we find while we are traveling. What do you need?
I mean, I don't need anything, but you may need some of this sometimes, and I'm going to. I mean, I already used it, but I can use a third level. So I'm going to spend a third level spell to make Performance of Creation again, and I'm going to make the equivalent of probably 20 gold of iron.
Thank you very much.
I mean, it's going to last for 4 hours. So
Like it's literally for practice.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
literally for
okay.
practice. So
Oh, great.
yeah, so if we find stuff and you really want to experiment with stuff, we can experiment together and not waste anything. Because it's
That's a
difficult
great
out there.
idea, right?
Yeah, I like it. I think it fits.
Thank you.
I think it fits. I
Okay.
just need to make them No, I think it fits. Yeah. It'll be done tomorrow. Don't worry.
Great, thank you.
Where is Johan during these hours? Like, are you in the common room or are you in your own room?
I would be on my own room. Like I said, tell me when I need
Yeah.
to go. I'm done.
While you're waiting, like, it's up to you what you're doing, but Sam would ask about the chest that you found. And I think even like you have the insight to realize it's a mystery, and Sam wants to know the answer. It's like you just have to
Yeah.
open it. You have it. You just have to open it. That
Yeah,
Sam
yeah,
wants
yeah.
to know.
I know. I wanted to do, like, when we reach the town, I need to dispel the magic. And I think the spell is on one of the books that I took from the multiple guys that we killed. But I don't have it in mind. I don't know if I can read the notes of the dead guy and cast it like DM. I know that the spell magic is on another of the books. Is not on mine right now. Can I ritual cast or prepare a spell that is not on my spell book, but I have it on a book on my
How-
person?
This is how difficult is it? Like, because what you could have done, if it's easy, is used the dead wizard's spell book as your own spell book.
Yeah,
And, like,
that
prepare-
was the easier.
Yeah,
But I
think-
had like 3 spell book and I combined
Yeah.
them on one, but with limited spells because I didn't have that much resources.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have money.
yeah. I will say,
are,
like, if you
like,
commit to later on buying the ink and paper to copy the book into your own spell book, yeah, I'll let you do it.
Yeah,
I
sure.
think what Sam would say in this moment is, I believe Maravilla could also dispel the magic of on the chest.
Yeah, but look, I appreciate the help, and this whole like being good and honest has bring me a lot of resources. Like, this guy has some talent, and I can use that. But this is something from my past. Like, I think I need to be the first to see what is here, and then I can come to them.
Can I see?
Of course, if I remove the amulet, I'm going to fucking die. So I'm stuck with here with you. So yeah, you can see.
Thank you. Are
It's
you
all
going
right.
to? Okay, so I'm not sure who had the chest last, but
I'm took it.
whoever will it have been will have placed it in your room. Let me check the rules for dispel magic.
So just to remember, this is not my chest per se. We think
Yeah.
this is from my partner, the person that betrayed me, or maybe we were friends. I don't know. We
Or your
were
boss.
we were thinking about
So
cloning
what is it-
ourselves.
What does it look like as you like? How does Johan cast dispel magic on this chest?
He's going to prepare a concoction like that he pours over the chest, and you can see the lines of magic protecting the chest and becoming weaker. And as he does this, he just going to wave, and the magic disperses.
Okay, and as the lines of magic lift off the chest, you see the solid block of metal that was holding it closed. A hair-thin line appears in it, and suddenly it is two separate pieces, and you can lift the lid and look inside.
Open. See
The
inside.
first thing you see is a large mask looking up at you. It's not the curved beak of the mask that you have. It is more, it has bulbous cheeks, and there's almost no line for the nose or mouth. It's thick, heavy goggles in a leather mask, and over the cheeks there's these large pouches, and when you lift it up and you turn and look inside, there are leather straps that hold the mask tight to the face, and packed into these spaces are these like pouches that are filled with spices and herbs, and you actually they come out, and there are tiny holes poked into the leather of that space, and you figure out that it's some kind of filtration system, and that these filters that you're holding in your hands can be replaced to allow the mask to continue functioning. Under the mask are these thick leather gloves, the kind that maybe if you were holding a red hot poker or picking up something from the forge, you might use. And they're lying on a heavy apron. And once you finally get that out of the way, you see alchemist supplies. There's the small glass beakers. There's a metal frame that is set up so that you can have a flame under and boil things on top. There's a glass stirring rod. There's a small mortar and pestle that is necessary to get ingredients into the right consistency. And then you find a jar that is filled with a yellow powder. And as soon as you get it close to your nose, you identify it from the heavy smell as brimstone. And you're looking around, and the other thing that's there is thick globs of resin that is almost completely dry, but could be treated to regain some of its elasticity and could be used to dissolve things within it. You're looking around. There's smaller jars of different colored powders. The first thing you think of is you could probably use this to create alchemist's fire. You're looking around. There don't seem to be the ingredients necessary for acid. You're looking around under that. Yeah, these are chemical ingredients. Some of them are not immediately familiar to you. Go ahead and make an intelligence check with advantage. No proficiency, because this is for parts of your schooling that you did not pay much attention to.
Without a proficiency, right?
But with advantage, because you were exposed to these things or similar.
Ooh.
So you're looking at it.
24.
Nice.
Yeah. You're looking at these. There's some jars of tiny white powder that are very carefully sealed to be airtight, and you're not going to open until you know what they are. And then there are these thick, puck-shaped devices, and there seem to be. They leave a smudge on your hand as you touch it, and you lift it up, and a tiny grain of it falls off, and you realize it is pressed some kind of powder into this shape, and suddenly you remember some of the experiments and the excursions that Master Artificer Panaver Renner and the other human student Frederick, whose other names I don't remember, went on. and the kind of experimentation that they were doing, and the fact that they were looking into natural materials infused with elements, and you realize you are looking at a cake of black powder, and there's a handful more in the box, and you see there were a couple of strings that are covered in wax that you realize are fuses. They can be lit, and they slowly burn in, and you gather probably under the wax they were impregnated with oil, or maybe like dipped in this powder such that they burn. And as you're looking, you find those fuses, and then you find wires that have been arcanely treated. And you're looking around at them, and because you have the context of the rest of the chest, you realize these are arcane fuses. You could detonate these remotely. You could set complex instructions into the fuse.
Shit.
And make like complex explosives. I mean, right now the explosives that you could make are very simple, but the conditions for detonation would be more complex with these arcane fuses.
This was E chest, right?
Correct.
Wow.
And I'm
E
gonna send
was
you that.
really interesting. Hello. A bit jealous. My chest didn't have all these toys.
Your chest had other toys,
Yeah,
including some
that informs me
gem
that maybe
polyhedrals.
our skills were different. Still doesn't answer why this person wasn't on the tank, the pod, the thingy. I'm gonna take all these things all the same. These are mine now. Maybe we can play with these toys. And I'm going to take everything, including the mask.
Sure. Of all of the things, the mask seems the most distinctive, like the sort of thing that someone would remember, much as people remember your mask when you wear it. And beyond that, the other thing that is of note is the arcane fuses, like the fact that these are treated. That's rare. That's the
gather
sort of
that-
thing that your master renner might make.
I gather that anything doesn't bring any kind of memories or something.
The memories that they bring are of your new life. Like
Yeah,
the
not
the
my
ingredients
previous life.
are the sort of things that, like, this is something that, yeah, the master artificer would be very interested in, and the sort of thing that they would produce. The mask, not so much. Like you're not sure why the mask, the heavy apron, the gloves, even the goggles make sense if you're working with explosives. But you're like the things that you know what they are don't seem to provoke the kind of fumes that would be necessary for that mask.
All right, Sam. We have some new toys. We have to meet with the captain. If the captain is not going to leave soon, we need to convince the group that we need to repair the crane, and we have to take all the scrap that we can get. We need scrap.
Understood.
So, work with me to achieve that. We need to convince the group that we need scrap. Good.
And with
Let's
that,
go meet that captain.
yeah. Whether you ask someone in the common room, or if Gildav was down there waiting, you see as a striking woman steps inside. She's a human woman in her late 30s, and the thing that her dress is finer than many of the sailors that are here, but what is most remarkable is she has vertical scars along the side of her face, and she is like in her cloak that is quite like nice silk. You see the hilt of a sword coming behind her back and resting behind her head. And like as she steps in, her eyes sort of scan the room, and stepping behind her are a half orc, and you see a half elf that are behind her. And the half orc woman sort of like has her arms crossed and is like looking around with a scowl. The half elf smiles and goes up to the bar, and I believe, yeah, will like she spots. Actually, Keldav is the one person that old Bill would not have described. So
I'm basically I am sitting in the bar. I ate something, a very quick stew. I have a glass of something, not an alcoholic beverage, some water or some milk or something like that. And I'm writing everything I can remember of the books of herbology that the druid gave me. So I'm basically starting to create notes on the extraction method for the potions of exhaustion relief. And I'm basically starting my study there, and I imagine was it the half elf?
yeah, the half elf like comes up to the bar.
Yeah, and I'm there.
Yeah. You see as the half elf like they look at you, and there's sort of a half smile, and then they ask the bartender, who is the proprietor, whose name I had written down. His name is... The proprietor is Brimdor. Yeah, Brimdor. And you see the half elf sort of signal to the bartender, and Brimdor, like, instead of the usual tankards, pours a larger flute of like some kind of foaming wine, and hands it to the half elf. And then like the half elf sort of turns and sort of looks back at the captains, like trying to figure out what's going to happen. So do you like signal the captain, or do you like...
I look at the half elf and I'll say, I imagine you're with the swift stream.
Yes. I suppose our reputation precedes us. You notice the half elf is wearing very fine clothes, but not the kind of clothes a noble would wear. Like a wealthy merchant.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if your reputation. I do know the name of Bellamy O'Keefe, the captain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Captain O'Keefe. I suppose you're
O'Keefe, sorry.
Who we're going to be discussing business with? We heard there were some interesting characters looking for passage.
That's a way of putting it. I mean, yes, I do need to gather my group, but that's the
Wonderful.
idea.
We'll meet you at the table then. And you see as the half elf sort of looks towards the captain and gestures with his head, and the captain like nods and like heads towards the table, and you see as the captain approaches the table, the couple of sailors that were there sort of like step back and like move off and clear the table for the captain and her group.
Oh, one thing, just one last thing, DM, that I forgot to tell you. I am gonna leave the hawk outside.
Mm-hmm.
And I am. I wanted to leave him outside just to check if there was gonna be people waiting outside when the captain arrived.
The captain, like you glance through the eyes
Yeah.
of Giratha. There's no one waiting outside. Like the entourage that the captain brought is the half orc and the half elf that were by her
Just
side.
being cautious.
Yeah, you're looking around. Make an insight check to see, because there was a reaction when the captain entered the inn, but you're trying to figure like, are people in
19.
the okay. You gather about 10 people in like 2 or 3 different tables are part of her crew, but like they know that the captain is here for business. Like they're not. So if something were to go down, the captain would have backup. But yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I'll look at Mara. Signal at her, and signal at Siege, because I imagine right now Mara is with
Lina.
Lena. Lena and Siege. And Siege, and I'll signal. I'll signal the captain to Mara, and I'll signal to Siege to go get Johan.
When you see Siege, I believe Siege has been alone all this time since Mara was with Lina. When you found him, you will find him with the hood and the cape, taking his axe and the spear, and been doing this all this time.
I'll look at you, and I'll actually say, like, you'll see me doing. And I'll say, I'll signal it's time to get Johan.
Sorry, yes, sir.
I'll go towards the bar. I'll ask, did they pay for their drinks?
Oh, they have a tab. The dwarf proprietor like points at the half elf and says, Finn always squares up with me before they go.
Finn?
Yeah, it's short for it's short for something.
All good. And do you know the name of the half orc? And I'll slide a gold coin towards his direction.
Yeah, that's Duryak. She's a tough cookie. Doesn't normally come into town.
Thanks. Can I get a flute with the bubbly thing?
Oh, sure. Yeah,
How much is that?
it's 1 silver. It's one of the nicer.
There you go.
And yeah, it's a carbonated wine. Like,
I am not gonna drink it. I just want to arrive with it.
okay.
And I'll get to the table. I'll try to get everyone at the same time to the table. Mm-hmm. Like as a unit.
Sure. Like you guys can arrange an entrance as you are. Like the captain and her crew, like they look striking, but they fit in with this ambience. You guys do not. Like
What ambience do we fit in? Really?
none. Like
None.
there's like Guardians of the
like
Galaxy.
maybe a circus.
Basically.
There is exactly. One of them is the circus. The other one we're gonna discover. But there is a place for us in this world. There should be.
I mean, you're making your place
Yeah.
as you grow in power and influence. But yeah, and as you step up to the table and have a seat, I think we're gonna call the session there. And we'll begin next time with the negotiation as you sit across the table from Bellamy O'Keefe, captain of the Swift Stream.
Do we?
wow.
No, okay, yeah, whatever. But
Do we gain
Kilduff comes
No, you have not gained a
to the
level.
table.
I'm
we are, right?
basically. The idea is for everyone to arrive at the same time.
Okay,
The
so
table-
Okay, so Lena would do preparations before we go, but we'll leave it for next session, I guess.
Oh, good.
Okay.
For those of you who are anxious for your next level, I will say you've had some sessions of remarkable role playing, and I do award experience for that. Everyone should now have 32,850 experience points,
Ooh.
and that includes Gufran.
32.
So it would take a long time to get to level 8 just through role playing,
Yeah.
but you could do it.
Oh, come on. We're so close.
Is that a challenge? I'm just asking. Is
I mean,
that
I don't
a
know.
challenge?
We can drag this trip to a
Yeah.
crawl.
Uh-huh.
RPing all the night.
Be careful.
All
Be
the day.
careful
Yeah.
with what you wish for.
At a certain point, pacing is my responsibility, and I'm willing to fast forward. But so far, I've really enjoyed the moments of role playing. I figured at some point you would have some interaction with Hendrik, but I found that delightful, and I did not expect the entire party to like move with Hendrik and try and get stories. So that was delightful. I hope you all had a pleasant time, and so did the viewers.
Yeah.
Yay.
And we'll pick
Great
this
time.
up next time
Yeah.
as
Like-
we figure out.
Exactly.
Like-
That's
Right.
Don't forget to do that everything that YouTube needs us to.
If
ask
you
every
hate
time.
us, leave a comment.
Yeah. And if you
We
like
can
us
take
too.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, it's the 3rd anniversary of the channel so far, if I
yeah.
remember correctly.
Yep.
Yay.
3 years since we. Yeah.
Well,
So
Yeah,
we are
so-
gonna get drunk right now.
well, this
you
episode,
guys.
this episode will be on some days later, but yeah,
So,
it's
yeah.
our anniversary.
Yes. but still,
Yeah.
if you've
Yeah.
been here from the very beginning, thank you so much. Your support
I think
is really
only.
cool.
Like, not even all of us have been here since the beginning.
Yeah.
Some of us have been here since the
Some of
beginning.
you have been, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
But it's delightful.
putting the idea out there, but yeah, it's at least in my experience, I've been with you guys for a year almost. I don't know, I don't remember. But
like
it's
it,
been
yeah.
it's been really cool. So I really hope that people watching the channel are having a lot of fun with us as well. Hopefully so.
Have a
Big
great
hugs.
one. Thanks for everything. Like, subscribe, all the jazz, and see you next
Yeah.
session.
Yeah,
I'll see you next
exactly.
time.
See you later. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.